Today in the Boot Guy, we are looking at the Forged Steel Toe by BOGS. Now, I am in love with neoprene pull-on footwear, mainly because it's come such a long way in the last decade. They have really put some innovation into building boots like this. If you think back 10 years ago, let's go back 15 years ago, you had a handful of boots out there that were made for this type of environment. And most of them were very hot, very uncomfortable, and it really needed to be in a certain climate in order for them to even take hold or do you any good. But companies like BOGS has taken an idea of a type of footwear and they have improved on it, not just from design, but from chemistry and technology and understanding the advancements in all these new materials that go into making a pair of boots. Now, the first place we got to start is with this sole, because this sole is something else. It is soft, it's pliable, especially when you're at room temperature. But you bring this sole down past freezing and it starts to slow down and it starts to get a little hard. Now, when it's hard, it doesn't mean you lose any of its slip resistancy. It starts to feel more like a regular work boot once it gets down into those lower temperatures. And that's where this boot excels. Because most of the time when you buy cheap copies of boots like this, you get the same material all the way through the boot. So as it gets cold, as it gets wet, it just becomes slipperier and slipperier. BOGS has really combated that by understanding the type of material that they need in order to build a true outdoor cold weather work boot. Now, all the other parts on the exterior are exceptional also, because it all goes into the design on the way they fit. When you slide your foot inside, it's nice and secure. You feel like you're inside something that's just keeping your foot in place. And by adding a steel toe to a pair of these neoprene boots makes a lot of sense. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there think that the steel gets much colder because it's metal, but hard material is hard material. Once hard material gets cold, it's going to radiate that temperature back at you. Now, we all know that metal will get colder than plastic, and it's easier to heat up plastic to a warming point than it is to heat up metal. But it is much safer for you guys if you're working around equipment, if you're working with chainsaws, if you're working with shovels and just backhoes and diggers and things like that, to have steel on your foot. And I only say that because of some of the things that I've seen out in the field where guys have had comp toe boots and they did not hold up to impacts and glances from rotating tools. Now, BOGS understands what it means to get your foot in and out of something all day long, because this is their specialty. Their specialty is building pull-on waterproof boots. So they understand the type of neoprene that they use, and they're using the best neoprene around. Now, neoprene, it's not a new material. It's been around for many years. Mostly you would have seen it a decade ago in dry suits for deep sea diving, for deep sea welding. But now that the price has lowered and now that the technology has just grown in building neoprene items, and you see it everywhere. You see it in hunting, you see it in fishing, you see it in outdoor gear. You see neoprene being used for some pretty ridiculous things, but really makes sense when you think about it. Think of those neoprene wine bottle holders for white wine to keep your white wine chilled as you're going to your movie in the park or something like that. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but the material is extremely useful. Now, the neoprene that BOGS is using on this boot is for extremely cold temperatures, and you can feel it. You can feel it by the thickness, especially side by side. When you see other boots compared to this boot's going to feel exceptionally thick and exceptionally heavy. But that doesn't mean that that's everything that you need. Remember, the Forge is for colder weather. You don't want to wear this above freezing. And if you are going to wear it above freezing, you don't want to wear it much above 45 degrees. Because a boot like this is going to get exceptionally warm because of the way it's built. Now, the height on the boot is 17 inches folded up, but more than likely what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to keep them folded down like this until you're ready to start working. And I say that because when the boot is folded down, it comes on and off a lot easier, even if you have a sweaty foot. Keeping it like this to get it off, keeping it like this to get it on as you're about to start working is a really, really good idea. And BOGS understands that, so they build this beautiful little square section back here in the boot so it comes on and off really easy. Use the edge of the stair, use the edge of your truck, use anything that you can lock it into and just slide the boot right off. Now there's an outstanding size scale on these, 7 through 18. I know, that is outstanding. On a steel toe boot, to go from size 7 to 18, that is just purely outstanding. Now about the size and the fit, they come in whole sizes, so what I would suggest is that you go one size bigger than your normal size, just so you have room to get this thing on and off. But if you have the luxury of trying on multiple pairs, do so. Get them both on, walk around in them, make sure that you find the right length from the heel to the toe, that you're not rubbing the steel toe, and that you've got enough room inside there so that you can conduct a little warm air inside, because that's one of the properties of neoprene, is just airflow inside a boot. If you can heat it up to your natural temperature, it's going to stay warm much longer. Now, one of the parts I found outstanding and amazing was their insole. They use a supportive insole inside a neoprene boot. Most of the time, you find mushy, lazy boy insoles inside these things, if you find anything at all. BOGS took it one step further. They gave you heel support with a defined heel, and they gave you arch support with a defined arch. That's just a beautiful touch. This is thinking and engineering completely realized. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about these BOGS out of the box is they're heavy, and they should be heavy. There's lots of material that goes into making these things. Well, a pair of these BOGS with the steel toe, with this beautiful extreme cold weather neoprene, is only weighing in at 7.8 pounds. So that's the BOGS Forge steel toe, beautiful, extreme cold weather neoprene boot. Hey, if you're currently wearing anything from the BOGS company, please comment below. Let guys know what you think about the construction, the fit, and the way you size them. What's your normal boot size? What size did you take in BOGS? Please comment below with that type of information. Hey, if you're interested in seeing some of these detailed sections of the BOGS, if you want to see that stitching, or if you want to see the actual height of the steel toe from the sole, what the whole distance here is, remember to swing by to bootguy.com. Also, if you're interested in knowing what the safety standards are that apply to this pair of BOGS, the steel toe safety standard and the slip resistance safety standard, also swing by to bootguy.com. I'll have all that information there in a blog posting titled BOGS Forge Steel Toe. Hey, please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. It really helps out. And remember, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, you can follow me there all day long. I find interesting boots like the BOGS Forge and other things. I take photos, I get the information out there, and if there's anything new going on in the work or outdoor footwear world, I try to post it out there. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of these BOGS and you're just not sure about the size, remember, they run from 7 to 18, so that's a huge size scale. Shoot me over an email and let's talk about what size your boots are, and we'll try to figure out together what size BOGS you need in order to get the job done. All right, till the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.